Hey, what's up everybody? Matthew Scott here and welcome to MCR Powerhouse. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to perform a squat jump and how to train using squat jumps. So let's talk about squat jumps. So technically squat jumps were designed to be done in low volume to develop muscular power. Your body's ability, best way to describe it is a combination of speed and strength, being able to apply force into something very quickly over a short period of time. Now, workouts nowadays are starting to incorporate squat jumps both on boxes, steppers, benches, etc., and with just your body weight alone, up and down on the floor for higher reps. Now, if you safely progress into this over, say, a 4 to 6 week period, I feel that's totally fine. You can turn it into more of an endurance exercise, but I would be careful. I wouldn't go from never doing jumping exercises to doing 40 or 50 reps just out of nowhere. It can be high risk because your body isn't used to the high impact. Keep in mind, even for the low rep stuff, it is very hard on the body. So I do recommend that over, again, a 4 to 6 week period, that you slowly progress the amount of reps that you do per set. So you can start with, say, 3 sets of 5 to begin with, and then slowly build up from there. And if you want to jump up and down off blocks or boxes, I do recommend slowly building up the height too. Right, so let's go through the cues of how to perform the squat jump. Let's start off with just performing a squat to begin with. Place your hands on your hips and have your feet hip width apart with your toes at 11 and 1 o'clock. Remember the cue from my last clip? Place a clock in front of you and visualize exactly where your feet are going to be turned, how far you're going to have your feet turned out. From this position, I want you to pretend like you're about to squat down as if you're sitting into a chair. With perfect technique, might I add. Keeping the chest powdered out so your back stays nice and straight. Squat down with your hips back a little bit, and then from that position I'm going to get you to hold it halfway. From that position I'm going to get you to quickly stand up. Now once you've quickly stood up, you might have noticed you have that slight tentativeness to want to lift off the ground. That is good. That's exactly what you're after when you're doing the squat jump. We're going to do the same thing now, but just combine it together in one smooth motion. Down and up. Now, once you have done that, you'll notice that, you probably would have got a little more height there, and the more power you put into it, the higher you're going to go. So basically, you need to drop down a little bit faster and transition quickly once you're about halfway up. So let's try that now. And that's essentially all there is to a standard squat jump. Now, let's talk about jumping onto blocks. It's essentially the same technique, only, common sense would dictate, now you apply the same force, but you just jump up onto the box. Now, if you are fatigued and you're struggling to do a jump, I recommend resting. Even if you're in the middle of a WOD, for example, I know this is something that happens to a lot of CrossFitters, their shins get cut pretty firmly sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, on jumping boxes. And a lot of the time it's because their muscles are so fatigued and they're trying to perform a powerful, explosive movement, like we were mentioning before, but the coordination isn't there because their muscles are fatigued and so is their central nervous system. With this, I would recommend just waiting a few seconds, a few deep breaths in and out, and if you feel like you're ready to go, then go through it again. Trust me, quality over quantity. Even the top level athletes, including CrossFitters, would agree with this principle. Now, let's consider one last thing with the squat jumps. Jumping off the box. If it is a higher box, obviously there's no way around like slowly climbing off it every time, especially if you're in the middle of a workout. So I am going to show you how to safely jump off a box. Although I do recommend, this is more for someone who's used to having done plyometric exercise for a while, I definitely recommend you start off with something smaller that you can easily step off, as demonstrated a moment ago. All right, so when you're jumping off a box, I recommend that you, again, jump off with your feet hip width apart and pretend like you're about to jump into a back squat position. So essentially, you're landing into a squat position to absorb the shock. You don't want to just thud down every time. Again, it's going to be very hard on your joints, so you want to absorb the shock. But you do that by doing as I'm demonstrating now. Right, so I hope you enjoyed the clip. I hope you learnt a lot out of it. I did try to keep this as much of a no-frills approach as I could, so if you do like this approach, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Keep it simple, keep it strong. Catch you later.